Okay, take two. We were just interrupted, so I'm going to start this over. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in whatever part of the world you're in. If it's snowing, that sucks because it is a beautiful spring day here in Seoul, and we are going to watch some StarCraft. We've got a good game today, so we're just going to jump right into it and get started. Alright, everything seems to be working okay. We've got another Terran. Oh my god. Gnome the Plume is playing Terran, and he points out already that he forgot to take it off of random. So I don't know what the hell's going to go on here. I don't even know if I can cast a Terran game. This is ridiculous. Or as my friends in the military say, redonk-donk. Apparently that's some sort of thing that people are saying nowadays, but I don't know. Okay, so ping is working. Down here we got Mr. Brown. Sorry, a little fun with the ping, just a little fun with the ping. I do like myself a ping. He is going 9 workers, not doing anything out of the ordinary. In fact, I'm going to speed up a little bit because I don't want to be watching this. I think I gave away that you can see that the game is a little bit longer of a game, which is impressive considering Puffer's penchant for being terrible at Terran. I don't even know what to say about that, except I think we should take a little moment and appreciate the fun music provided to us by Ray Manzarek, John Dunsmore, Robbie Krieger, and Jim Morrison, who are the Fabulous Four, who created and entertained us with the band The Doors. So while Jim tells us about the deep blue sea and the 7 horses, we will notice that our Terran friend, Michael, is taking 3 workers on gas. Meanwhile, the Zerg has taken an early expansion. It looks like he might have gone, in fact, he did go hatch first, obviously, and I guess that's okay. That is what people are doing against Terran lately, although, and maybe it's partially because of my friend Puffer saying that he is going random and not very good at Terran, but I think that going hatch first has been a little bit dangerous for players recently since the Reaper opening has become so popular, especially once you build up 2 or 3 Reapers, it becomes really devastating. And now he does have, Mr. Brown does have enough gas going to start speed, but speed takes quite a long time, almost 2 in-game minutes. And with the Reapers already on the board and a second Reaper already a third of the way finished, you're really looking at some difficult harass. And in fact, Mr. Brown deciding to take a second gas, so he's not even started his speed yet. The Reaper's already to his base, and it may be some trouble. He's not building up enough mineral count to be able to do anything significant. He may be able to start a queen, he may be able to start a bunch of Zerglings, and Puffer's in here immediately just going straight for the drones that are on gas. I don't know why this he's deciding to, to deal with it with a freaking drone, because that's certainly not going to help out at all. The Reaper just goes backs off, takes out a couple drones, and at this point, with 2 drones off the board, the Reaper's already paid for himself. Now, Puffer, I guess, decided to cancel that Reaper production after just 2 because he's now going Marines, and it looks like he's dropping a bunker in an anticipation to expand. Now, he's going to engage his Queen, which is not a good idea. I think anyone who plays Zerg knows that engaging the Queens isn't a good idea. But maybe he's going to back up, gets out just in time, another hit. I think that would have taken out that, well, 2 more hits would have taken out that Reaper, so he was really on his last legs. He could come back and heal up, and he may be able to come back and engage that Queen again and do some more damage, maybe take it out. But we know Zerg regenerate health really quickly, and you need to be on a little bit careful about that. Now, I like the idea of 3 Reapers. If you're going to go for 2, I kind of feel like you might want to go for 3, especially against Zerg. You can keep them pinned back. It's 3 Reapers, 1-shot drones and workers, so you can just kite through and just start doing a lot of damage, whereas 2, you're still going to have this issue. So it looks like he does go back and try to take out the Queen, which he's going to be able to do. Now he's going to have to retreat, and I would start picking off some of the workers, but he needs to work on his health and get those Reapers back up to health. But he took out all the workers at the natural, and that is certainly going to be doing a lot of damage. With only 12 workers mining minerals at the main and 6 workers working on the gas, he's obviously going gas and see a lot of tech already getting a lair, which isn't really already, but the fact that the lair is finishing just now means that he started it well before 6 minutes, which means that it was, in fact, an early lair by conventional Zerg standards. Back home, our friend Puffer is doing very well. He's got a couple bunkers built up. He's really extra paranoid. I'm not exactly sure why. 2 bunkers is a pretty hefty wall, but I guess he knows what he's doing, although he plays Zerg and he's playing Terran right now, so I can say pretty matter-of-factly that he does not know what he's doing. But here comes a little attack by the Zerglings. I wasn't even paying attention to them because I did not think that that Mr. Brown was going to come anywhere near that wall of bunkers, and that was obviously a mistake. You can see in the units lost tab, that was a pretty big deal. I don't know what he was thinking. I guess he's lost some workers. Let's see, I can pull up the fancy thing. 8 workers killed and 13 units, so I guess he lost quite a bit there. That would have been 4 Zerglings he lost in that exchange since he lost that queen earlier on, and he's lost 8 workers already. Now he is morphing in 5 banelings. It must be 6. I think I count 6 up there, and that's more than enough. That is plenty to take out a supply depot, but he doesn't need to break down the wall. He needs to reinforce with some lings, and it looks like they've got speed now, and in fact they do, so that's okay. Now he has pulled 3 workers out of gas, and he hasn't decided to make any workers at all, so even though he does have full saturation here, that full saturation comes from, well, close to full saturation comes from the fact that he took out. So I blinked and he's lost everything. Our player is not doing very well. I should probably go back and check that out. But I can tell you that there was an exchange that did not go well for Mr. Brown. He obviously tried to do a baneling bust and took out a bunker and whatever Marines happened to be inside it. And in the meantime, lost everything he had. We can go to the units lost category and see that he is not doing well and that Terran lost just a handful of units. It must have been a Marauder or something, or a structure, because the units lost is not just Marines, because that would just come up to 350 minerals. So there must have been something else going on. But I digress. There is some more action where we have more Lings out on the board. Mr. Ling is obviously going for some more pressure, although what he hopes to do against what looks like a very close to walled off Terran, I don't know what's going on. He might be able to get through right here. And he's obviously got some SCVs plugging up this hole, and now he's got a significant gap here with a supply depot down. But with Widow Mines coming out, a tank for defense, and bunkers full of Marines, he's really doing something. Obviously, Mr. Brown's scouting around the backside, checking for expansions, which is certainly good to do. You want to make sure that you have Terran contained, but Terran has plenty of money, plenty of opportunity to do stuff, and at this point, it looks like Mr. Brown is just droning, and he's behind economically. He doesn't have the income. Oh, I guess now technically he's got more stuff going on. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I know that he did not have his bases defended, and I think that he's really vulnerable to a counterattack right now, but we'll see how it goes. For right now, we've got a lot of banelings on the board. He's really going to town, hoping these banelings are going to solve everything. Not exactly sure what he hopes to accomplish. He's going to be able to bust through and do some damage. I get the feeling that with this Widow Mine, if it goes off, it's going to take out a lot of the banelings, and this Widow Mine is going to be able to do a lot of damage if it gets anywhere close. Those banelings taking off and attacking the wall and not doing anything but taking out a supply depot in one of the worst exchanges Zerg has ever encountered in the history of Zerg. That man just failed on epic proportions. In fact, I guess somehow rescues 2 banelings who he has speed upgrade for, which is important when you are trying to speed crash attack the fucking wall. You really want to make sure that they have that extra speed to engage absolutely nothing at all. So that's great. I think that we are not looking at a very talented Zerg player, because if I can identify their lack of talent, they must be untalented indeed. I'm going to take a little moment. Let's see where we're at. I don't think there's going to be any action going on here. We haven't looked a lot at the main base of Terran yet. We've obviously got a couple factors and a couple... we have a starport with a couple medevacs coming out, which is important. There's not researching any tech on his factories, but he must be producing tanks and Hellions. Obviously, tanks coming out of the one with the siege, with the tech lab and the reactor. I'm not exactly sure what he's going to be doing with what he wants to be doing with Hellions, except for he's a little bit new, so maybe he just wants to have Hellions on the board because it's a cool unit. Usually Hellions are used in the early game for scouting around and harassing, and maybe in conjunction with some scans, taking out some of the creep spread. Creep spread hasn't been an issue, really hasn't been an issue because Terran hasn't been outside of his base, which is impressive because he is handily winning this game and has not left his base yet. In fact, this Overlord gets a little too close and gets tagged pretty heavily by the anti-air defenses that Terran has set up. But Terran, in classic Terran fashion, turtling in quite nicely, and I think this is just a testament to the fact that even if you don't know how to play StarCraft very well at all, you can succeed as Terran if you build Marines and tanks and medevacs and just defend. Although now we see, looks like a drop, a massive fucking death drop on its way, and is Puffer going to get absolutely micro crazy with what looks like 2 separate drops and a SDV just for fucking comfort. Is he going to end up, is he going to see this expansion? I'm not sure that it really makes a difference. He's going to see the creep spread, so he should know if he pays attention, and he may not be paying attention, that there is an expansion there. That expansion really does not make any difference except for it gives the Zerg an opportunity to make a little bit more larva. But this is going to do some damage. And there's the Hellion. The Hellion's going to shred up some of the Lings, some of the drones. The drones are going to be taking a lot of damage, and in the meantime, his main's going down. This is pretty much GG at this point. Anyone decent can see that. The Zerg just does not have any units on the board. I don't know what he thought he was going to do. Oh, he gets a lot of anti-air. Anti-air is really important when you're facing an army of Marines and tanks. But the medevacs just don't stand a chance. So, I mean, I guess he was successful. The air force of this Terran was really intense. Here come 4 Zerglings back, and they're really not going to be very effective. Although in conjunction with the Zerglings that were already in the base, he is managing to clean this up, based primarily because of the lack of medevacs, because of those corruptors. So I do have to say that the 11 corruptors that were used were very effective. He cleans this up, even though he did lose all of his main, almost lost his hive, and it looks like that hive is really weak. Still doesn't clean anything up, loses his natural and all of his drones, so I don't know what exactly is going to be happening. He's operating off 3 harvesters right now and 1 queen, although, like I said, he does have a hive, so he can do some awfully significant teching if he still has anything left with which to tech. So I guess he could do an infestor upgrade if he decides to save up the money from the 3 drones he's got working right now. I suspect he's going to be droning at this point, but instead he's doing nothing but spreading creep tumors. Finally decides to start droning, and that is what is going on. In fact, here I am in the middle of the cast, and Puffer himself shows up. So Puffer, I'm in the middle of casting one of your games. This is the one where you decided to random and go Terran. Because apparently you're a retard.
Yeah, I think it followed 2v2 or something.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, it's not looking very good for our Terran friend here. For our Zerg friend here, Mr. Brown. I don't know what he's thinking, and he'd have to be giving a good game here shortly. You with a massive amount of forces and 2 bases. You don't even need to take another base, but the Zerg does just decide to quit out. So with that, we'll call it quits. I'd like to thank anybody who watches for watching, and I will sign off now. Thank you. Good night.